Ladies and gentlemen, can I welcome you to my hometown of Sydney and to Australia for the G20 Finance Ministers and Governors meeting.
We committed to implementing policies that aim to lift our collective GDP by more than 2% above the trajectory implied by current policies over the next 5 years. Put differently, our policies could deliver over $2 trillion more in real economic activity and tens of millions of new jobs.
The leaders at the G20 have agreed to an aim or an aspiration, not quite a target, to lift their economic growth, and they're 80% of the world, by an extra 2% over 5 years. They say that'll add $2 trillion to the world economy. Now, they're being asked or encouraged, it's not quite clear from the language of the communique, to come back to Brisbane with specific targets when the G20 leaders, the presidents and prime ministers from the G20 meet at Brisbane in November. The Treasurer, Joe Hockey, was specific about Australia.
The only way we can stop the rise in unemployment in Australia and in fact start reducing unemployment is to have growth that is faster than 3%. And currently we're at around 2.5%. So we've got to look at ways to speed up our economy. And for those economies where there is unemployment that is much higher and they haven't gone back to what we would describe in Australia as trend growth, they're being asked to come back with a plan to get back to trend growth and beyond. And that's where the structural reforms kick in. For some, it's labour market reforms. For others, it's competition policy reform. For some others, it may be tax reform. For all of us, it seems to be private investment in infrastructure.
And other things have been useful as well. There's an agreement for a common reporting standard for the exchange of tax information. This is, I suppose, essential for the working of taxation in the internet era as money can move between countries and apparent locations. Treasurer Joe Hockey, concluding the meeting, said, look, what do I say to a small business person in Sydney who knows that large multinationals are not paying tax? There was complete agreement about this, which is why there's been an agreement signed, one of these specific measures to come out of the G20. Also, there are measures to improve financial stability and to improve the regulation of banks. The rest of it is a work in progress. There'll be another meeting elsewhere in April, and the main G20 meeting, the second one, for which Australia is the host, in Brisbane in November.